Hey folks, welcome to my another weekly forecast. My name is Matthew. I'm 18 years old. I trade ICT concepts, but I'm not consistently profitable yet. But as I said in the previous forecast, I believe this whole series of the weekly forecast and some educational videos I plan to do in the near future will help both you and me understand price more, but mainly ourselves and our psychology and everything behind that. So without any further talkings, let's view the charts. So, in the beginning of this video, I would love to say that my previous weekly forecast was completely wrong, and I don't have problem admitting that, since after I realized I'm wrong, I simply aligned myself with price and the order flow. So this is a very important thing you need to do too. You cannot just be stubborn and do your own thing. You just need to align with price and just listen what price is trying to say. So on the weekly time frame, we can see price on the NQ hit the rejection block on the weekly time frame. On the ES, price respected this weekly BC, and on the YM, price tapped the BPR and weekly fair value gap. And we can see price clearly respects bullish PD arrays right now on the weekly time frame. So there is no need to take shorts or like trying to counter trend this, since there won't be that high probability like when you are aligned with the order flow. So we've done the weekly time frame, and now let me drop to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we can see price bounced off this daily redelivered rebalance on the NQ. I also mentioned this PD array in the previous forecast, and currently did a pretty good educational thread on my X and my Instagram, so you will find link in my description and you can study that by yourself, because I think once again this PD array is one of the most powerful ones. It's a really strong algorithmic signature. So let me continue. On the daily time frame, on the NQ, we can see price clearly violated CB, which became inversion fair value gap. So what I would love to see on the daily time frame is NQ would retrace to this daily BC and then continue towards all-time highs, since this is the most logical thing price can do right now, since we are bullish. Okay, so this is something I would look for, this daily BC on the NQ. On the ES, we can see ES is stronger and ES is gravitating towards this equal highs. So there will be plenty of retail stop losses which took out the double top, triple top, those patterns we simply target. So this will be my draw on liquidity, and then simply continue to all-time high, which is pretty close to these triple tops. My drawn liquidity on the ES is 5,721. On the NQ, my drawn liquidity is 20,025, and eventually this daily premium CB, which is in the deep premium and starts on the 20,166. Okay, so this is something I would look for once again, this retracement, and then go higher. I participate this most probably as breakaway gap, because there is an BPR and price don't need to go that deep. So we need to keep that in mind and don't expect it, and just simply follow price and listen what price is telling to us. On the YM, we can see beautiful BC, but I don't think we will really retrace prior to taking all-time highs. There is the double top, and I think price is more likely to take out the double top than just retracing and then taking the double top. So what I would expect is price will start to expand higher, took out the equal highs, and then retrace to daily BC, and then continue higher probably. So this is something I will look for on YM. YM is also in the premium redelivered rebalance. Once again, extremely strong algorithmic signature. And we can see price rejected of the daily redelivered rebalance. So if price will retrace into the daily BC, I'm down to it and I'll simply long it. But if not, I'll be simply following the order flow and the dealing ranges. So, okay, there you can screenshot it, there you can mark it on your charts. This is my view. So once again, on the NQ, I target this high and eventually this daily premium CB. On the ES, first target is those relative equal highs, and the second target is all-time high, which is at 5,721. On the YM, I target all-time high, which is at 41,673, and eventually I will seek shorts into the daily BC, which is at 41,100. So this is it, and right now I'll refine the lower time frames on the separate chart for each indice. So let me start on the NQ. On the NQ, I'll mark out the daily BC I mentioned. Let me go onto the H4, where I will mark out sell-side liquidity. On this level, there will be most probably low of the week with some SMT on the lows, like that. When I zoom out, we can see beautiful market maker sell model, and this imbalance should remain unfilled. This is the breakaway gap in the low risk sell phase. So this would preferably be unfilled, and if not, I'ma simply buy it. Like, there is no problem. But there is not that high probability to retrace that deep if price will be in the hurry to take out the buy side liquidity. You see what I'm trying to say? So I would expect some drop to the daily BC, H4 BC. There we can see some higher time frame order block, which would be pretty great, reveals the point. And when we pair this with the time and day of the week, we can predict most probable low of the week. When we also look into the economic calendar, we can see the first high impact news on Tuesday, but we need to keep that in mind that this week will be FOMC press conference, which is extremely big economic event basically, and price can only go sideways prior to that. But since we have news on the Tuesday, I think we might get some great setup on the Tuesday. Personally, on Wednesday, I wouldn't be trading since it's FOMC in the afternoon. And after the FOMC, the Thursday and Friday will be normally tradable days. But on the Friday, we don't have any news drivers. So once again, when we don't have any news, I like to trade only when there is a really S plus setup. Otherwise, I wouldn't take it, okay? So just keep that in mind. Basically, we use news as a volatility injection. So let me drop back there. So let me mark out this H4 order block, where I would expect low of the week paired with the daily imbalance. Okay, now we have it. So perfect. This is something I would go for. So currently, there is a little gem for your notes. We are around the equilibrium of this whole market maker buy model. And what does it mean? That means that around the equilibrium of the wall market maker buy model, we can find the most probable turtle soups. So keep that in mind and watch this week how there will be some high probable turtle soup around equilibrium. That's just for your notes. Just study that. And let me know in my Discord, which you will find in the description, and I would love to see you there and share my thoughts with you in the Discord. And I would also love to see your analysis, your charts, your thoughts in my Discord. So if you like what I do, or you have some ideas as me, just feel free to join. I look forward to see you there. This will be my first target because there will be a lot of stop losses, and then the original consolidation of this market maker buy model. On the ES, we can see the BPR I mentioned in the beginning, and this will be probably my low of the week, where I expect low of the week basically. And this, as I said, I would preferably love to see unfilled as a breakaway gap. But that doesn't mean price doesn't have to go there. If price goes there, I must simply long it. There is nothing like I can do about it. But this is less probable than just going into the BPR and then gravitating towards this huge buy-side liquidity pool. Let me actually mark it out, daily BPR. And when I zoom in onto the 4-hour time frame, we can see once again one of my most favorite PD arrays called redelivered rebalance. So let me mark it out. And this will be pretty good low of the week for the ES, since in order to have a valid reversal and low of the week, you need to have SMT between closely correlated assets. This is for your notes. You can write it down and just study that, how low of the weeks or high of the weeks are formed, and if there is any SMT. It's pretty great study, and I highly recommend you to do it. So this is something I would look for on ES, but it's also really probable, since we have a lot of H4 inversion fair value gaps, price can simply bounce off this H4 inversion fair value gap and sweep this buy-side liquidity pool. Because look at this. There will be so many retail stop losses. Price is in extreme hurry to get there. So when we know the drawn liquidity, everything's become easier, believe me. And I would either expect this small little retracement and taking the original consolidation of this H4 market maker buy model, or a little bit deeper retracement to H4 redelivered rebalance combined with the SMT on the NQ. So you can screenshot this and you can mark out that on your charts. So let me move into the YM. On the YM, as I previously mentioned, on the daily time frame, there is the redelivered rebalance where price found a little bit of resistance, but I don't really think anything will happen since price already violated the consequent encroachment of the redelivered rebalance, which is good bullish sign, by the way. This is also for your notes. This also applies on fair value gaps, order blocks, but order blocks doesn't have consequent encroachment, but they have a mean threshold, which is also 50% of the order block. And if price is violating mean thresholds of the bearish order blocks, it's good for us to go long, because price is tipping our hands. To be aware of it and just simply align with price and don't try to fight it. And like the only PD array I can see there is this small H4 BC, so I'm gonna mark that out. And on the sell side of the curve, I can see this inversion fair value gap, which also can right now act as support, and price doesn't even have to go to the discount, so, and can just simply expand. So this is the first scenario, and the second, more preferable one, is this H4 BC, and then pushing higher. So you can mark this out. The drawn liquidity, as I said, will be those relative equal highs, and eventually, yeah, and basically that's it. That's the all-time high. So my drawn liquidity is all-time high for you, just to simplify it. This is my view. WAM is already at the second stage of reaccumulation, where price only do small retracements, and there are the most probable order blocks. So keep that in mind and try to think about it and pair it with your analysis. I also created pretty good threads on my X, which covered how to predict market maker models. I explained there how you can easily predict the phases of the market maker buy model and the sell model. So I highly advise you to check out my X and study those threads, because I think they are really insightful, and I had never seen anyone do something like that or explain something like that. So make sure you check it out and let me know either in the comments or on the X if that thread helped you out and you found it insightful, so I can continue doing it. And yeah, this is it. I appreciate your time that you watched this whole video with me and analyzed price together. I'll look forward to see you once again in my Discord, where it's extremely warm community, a lot of study materials, and daily pre-market calls together, where I talk with the members about the price, what we expect for the exact session, and I know you will find it extremely insightful for your career. Once again, thank you for your time. Hope you find this video insightful, and until I talk to you next time, be safe.